Today, we have with us Gajun Ganendran. Gajun, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, Gaj, you're the CTO for IBM Asia Pacific for cloud operations. Can you tell us a little bit more about your role here in IBM?
Sure. The role is actually two things. Firstly, actually, it's many things, but primarily it's really managing a team of very highly specialized experts who are evangelists for our cloud platform business. So that's one part of the business. The second part, of course, is obviously being the public face of IBM Cloud to the community and the market. So trade shows, presentations, even some of the operational aspects as well in terms of where we deploy data centers, what kind of services get deployed. I'm the conduit between the corporate part of IBM and the field in IBM.
So the audience has been hearing me talk about cloud for a while, but I think it'll be interesting to hear from your perspective. Where is cloud going these days? What's the present and future like? And second, what is the customer looking for? What kind of conversations do you actually have with them?
So I have my view on cloud. I mean, where we're seeing right now is, there's obviously a lot of competition when it comes to cloud providers. There's a lot of cloud providers out there. Everyone is, if you look at some of the major cloud providers, they're launching new data centers every few months. I'm seeing the conversation evolve from obviously a technology conversation to more of a services-oriented conversation. Each cloud provider has their pros and cons. A few years ago, it was all about, for instance, virtual machines. Nowadays, everyone talks about serverless computing, AI, and some of the higher value services like blockchain. So that's kind of where the conversations are all heading. In terms of conversations that I have with customers, look, I always joke that, vendors and the industry talks here, and customers are always, in reality. So they're grounded. They're a few years behind in terms of, what they're doing. But of course, cloud customers do next generation investments and transformation conversations. But so we have customers basically, having some key challenges around risk, around compliance, around operational challenges, security. So they're really looking at ways that they can transform their business using cloud technologies. So they're not really, it's not a technology-driven conversation. So when you can go to those customers and tell them, look, this is how cloud and cloud technologies can help transform their business, they're very keen to have that conversation with us. So it's not always about the latest and greatest.
So it's really, the conversations are grounded on how do I use this? How is it going to benefit or help me achieve my goals?
Yeah.
And is it secure enough? Do you still,
so there's a lot of conversations. So particularly in certain markets, which I would say, are still a little bit new to cloud. Compliance, security is something that you do need to have that conversation. And if you look at it from an IBM standpoint, a lot of IBM customers are, enterprise. Banks, financial services. So of course, security is top of their mind. So going to those customers, you start having those security compliance questions pop up earlier on. But ultimately, it comes back to what exactly can cloud do for me? Like, what are the benefits, cost, value, risk benefits that cloud can do for me? Okay. And then of course, our job is really to connect the dots in terms of, okay, out of all of the services that we have, and from an IBM standpoint, there's over 190 odd services, which particular services that we can leverage or the customers can leverage that will get them the best result from a business standpoint.
All right. And talking about doing our jobs better, right?
Yeah.
As marketers, what are the things that we can do to assist you or actually take that messaging in a better way to the audience?
Yeah, look. I think the most important thing that I come across time and time again from customers is use cases and best practices. So every time going in with a technology angle and telling customers, look, this is what we can do is not the be all end all of those conversations. Usually it requires us to go in and say, hey, look, a similar organization here has done it like this. And these are the pitfalls, these are the benefits of how they've overcome some of those challenges with our technology. So having that kind of best practice and shrink wrapping it almost, and giving it to those customers and telling them, hey, look, similar organizations have had this, that goes a long way to drive that conversation.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Use case driven conversations, they always work. Talk about the value proposition and the benefits that your product actually bring to the customer. They have their own challenges. Stop talking about your product's features, start talking about the benefits it actually brings. Thank you so much, Gaj. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone.